Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian Espinal, and joining me through Discord is my co-host, my partner in crime. It is Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
Called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, guys? I'm happy to be here. I read all the comics in one day.
Damn.
So, it's I got a nice little energy going. Yeah, man, it's straight linear.
This guy's a fucking beast.
Yeah, straight linear.
Yeah, I got everything on my mind. Yeah. I just made that up on the spot. I know it means the same thing, but it's like extra. It's like extra.
Yeah.
Combined two and one to mean more. Anyway.
Also joining us through Discord is my producer, my brother. It is Edgelord Big News Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hello, Brian. How are you today?
Oh, just dealing with all this fucking snow in New York now. I had to literally dig my parents' car out of the fucking snow today to get it out.
Yeah. We don't deal with it often, though, right? I mean, I feel like it doesn't snow.
Could be worse.
Yeah, it is.
It's been a while since it snowed a lot in New York.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, snow notwithstanding. Also, this is our. Wait, no, it's not. Next week is our Christmas-esque episode. This is the episode before our Christmas episode, I guess. But
Yeah.
Till then,
Christmas Eve episode.
But we don't have any less manga for you this week just because of that. We have a great show lined up. Let's get into plugs really fast. You could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram as well, guys.
Hell yeah. Brian, where you at?
You can find me at b.esp on Instagram and Twitter. And now I'll probably be streaming a little bit more often. So if you want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline. All
right. You could follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Please do. We do weekly audience RGC polls. That's a really good chapter of the week where you guys decide what your favorite chapter is, and we will reveal them on the show. We also have our picks, but we're starting to let you guys have a little bit of a say in it as well. I do have the winner for this week, so very excited about that. You can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about. And I think that's it. No, there's the email. Comment below if you also want to do that. That's probably the fastest way for us to get to you. Is we get to see the comments right there. If you're listening on iTunes, we have a bunch of episodes now on YouTube, full video capability, panels, all that stuff. You guys get to see what we're reacting to. And if you're listening on YouTube, we have a backlog of over 80 something episodes. The majority of which we don't have video for, either because of the strike or because of our video capability we didn't have back then. So check out the backlogs, you guys. It'll be super cool to get a little boost. Subscribe, follow on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on there. Share the show, like, subscribe, all of that stuff. With that being said, and without further ado, it is time to randomize One Piece.
Damn, we're starting off with fucking One Piece?
Yeah, this is One Piece chapter 998, Ancient Types. The cover is Eneru on a giant cat. Nice.
Does this mean he's back on Earth? Or on the planet?
I don't know, is he? That means he would have
Because
been
there's
up there.
grass and trees and shit, right?
No, these are non-canonical things, Brian. They're not like the cover stories. But imagine he's just around.
Oh,
Isn't
so
there
it's
a
not
blue side of the moon where there's a grassy jungle?
Supposedly. At least
I don't
according to
really
the
know much about
Transformers
the
Didn't we
movie.
just read a whole event about that?
Yes, we did.
Maybe I'm bugging.
No, we did read. That was Empire we were talking about. But in any case, back to the chapter. Last we left off with One Piece, Kaido decided to say, fuck this shit, and made the entire island of Onigashima float into the air, and is about to, womp smash it onto Wano. It's pretty fucked up. But we cut back to the main performance floor where all of the Ice Oni are attacking, and Chopper is just still freaking out. He's on fire currently, as Marco has set him on fire, probably because Chopper himself said these guys need fire to at least calm down the Ice Oni virus, and it seems to work, of course. But Zoro isn't having that shit. He's like, Marco set Chopper on fire. He's like, the fuck do you think you're doing? And tries to take a swipe at him. Marco does a clean dodge. It was pretty cool. And yeah, basically the other minks who I didn't know were on the island. The Dr. Mink from before, Miyagi and Chopper's Bay, Tristan is there. And they're like, yo, we set up the fucking lab. Now we can produce more of these antidotes. And Chopper gets pretty hype. And, he's about to do that. In the meantime, Marco decides to use his Phoenix Pyre Apple to calm down the other Ice Oni. Temporary curing a few, I think. I see that, like, Hyogoro's homie is back to consciousness. So, he's holding him off. And with that situation handled, he offers to fly Zoro up to Kaido and Big Mom, which is pretty cool. He'll just get a straight shot up there while Luffy's still making his way. Meanwhile, Apu stands up and he's like, I'm not done yet. I'm one of the fucking 11 supernovas. You can't take me down that easily. And then X-Drake comes in his full, what's it called? Allosaurus, because he's not a T-Rex. We keep making that mistake. He's an Allosaurus. He just comes in and chomps on Scratchman Apu. I don't know.
I need a confirmation that that's an actual dinosaur.
Yeah, Allosaurus. Brian, Google an Allosaurus right now. I know.
Yes, it's a real dinosaur.
I don't believe you. That was way too fast.
It was a little quick. I believe you, but it was.
I literally just Googled Allosaurus just now.
All right.
What, you think I just
like
slammed my keyboard and then acted like I didn't look it up?
Hacking the mainframe and shit. Yeah, well, Allosaurus is a real dinosaur. I think does he kill Scratchman Apu because he is down again?
No, he didn't kill him, but Scratchman Apu might as well be dead. Like, he's just so trash right now.
Yeah, he just chomped on him.
No, he just chomped him and threw him.
Yeah.
Apu is just getting fucking manhandled these past 2 chapters.
Yeah. I mean, he was fighting Zoro and he manhandles most people.
Zoro and a dinosaur.
If you call that a fight, then I don't
he tried his
know.
best.
We'll see.
That was not a fight, bro.
It's not over yet, maybe.
He just fucking cut his ass up.
We cut into the right brain tower in the central hallway where Frankie is fighting against Sasaki. And he's whooping ass as usual. And then Sasaki's like, all right, it's time for me to step into this battle and help my friends. And he transforms.
Wait, did he talk about the Jinbei thing?
Not yet. That's
in the last page, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're up to Sasaki and Frankie.
No, that's before. The Jinbei stuff is before.
No, it's not.
Page.
I just turned the page from X-Drake, and then it's Frankie. Damn, Brian.
That's weird. No, because when I turn the page, it shows Jinbei and Luffy.
Are you on the wrong chapter? Because Luffy's not in
No,
this
I'm on the right
at all.
chapter.
Luffy's not in this
After
chapter.
X-Drake, I turn the page, and it shows Jinbei and Luffy.
Well, sounds like a you problem. Because I'm seeing Frankie versus Sasaki, and Sasaki transforms into a fucking Triceratops. Hell yeah, dude. Gets one of those. So Frankie's facing off against Sasaki. We cut over to Sanji as he's being chased by a myriad of animal women. And then at the end of the day, he is cornered, and on the fucking ceiling is Black Maria with her spider fruit ancient type Rosamy Gale Graviogeli model. Some ancient spider that she is now. So that's cool. She's a giant spider. And then we cut to Jinbei, Brian. Jinbei is facing off against Who's who uses the saber-tooth tiger devil fruit. Pretty sick as well. Gets one of these. And this is an interesting exchange where Jinbei's talking down to him. He's like, Straw Hat has gone on. So, have a little pride. Stop picking on my subordinates. And he says, former warlord of the sea. And Jinbei's like, nah, I think my title of helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirate crew is way better. And it's funny.
Fucking right, Jinbei.
Hell yeah.
Fucking right.
Jinbei looks, Who's Who talks to Jinbei and he's been, oh, pardon me, I only thought of that because I saw you once when you were a warlord. So Jinbei and Who's Who had met at one point. I wonder who he is. I mean, maybe he's like a character we already know. Maybe he's Mayor Boodle from all the way back then. Who knows? Then we cut over to Ulti and Page 1 just bursting through looking for Usopp and Nami, giving off the potentiality that their battle isn't over yet, and they still might get that 2-on-2 battle with these two, which is pretty cool. And the chapter ends with Yamato and Momoshiki, right? No, not Momoshiki. Momonosuke. Sorry. Momonosuke, as they sit in this weird storage room, and there's this statue of a dragon that looks destroyed. And it turns out we learned that it was destroyed by a friend of Yamato's who came to kill Kaido, and it was Ace.
LOL.
Well, we didn't
kill Kaido.
It's not that shocking because we know that Ace has been here before, and also that he mentioned he was here like way back in the Marineford arc that we learned he came here at some point. But yeah, I guess we're gonna
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna get into the backstory of what happened when Ace came to Wano and why he left. Probably because he couldn't beat Kaido, I guess, but it's an interesting thought. 1v1s, baby.
Yeah.
They're a little more settled.
I was really excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah, this was awesome.
And I like how they're all like legit zone fruit users, not that smile bullshit.
Yeah, they're all like ancient types too. That's the
like the gorilla.
Yep.
Banana muncher fruit.
The banana muncher fruit. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot in the way of plot in this chapter. It literally is just setting up who's fighting who. Although I don't know what Sanji's going to do against Black Maria, seeing as how he doesn't.
I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that him and Jinbei are going to switch places.
Maybe.
So here's my guess. So there's one thing actually that I have a question about is that are they implying that Sanji's observation haki is better than Luffy's in this chapter?
No,
because
I don't agree. I don't believe so. I think he's just saying it functions differently.
Oh, okay. Well,
Luffy's is more so with like I don't know. It has to do with like maybe like predicting the future or something like that. Where Sanji's is better with sensing people's like or hearing people's voices from far or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Luffy. I don't know. The extent that I've seen him use it was in combat to try to predict attacks, like when he developed it against Katakuri. So
yeah,
that's what that's what I believe he's implying. Like, cause just the way his haki functions.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're implying that it's better. I haven't seen really any evidence that it's like better, but it is building on the fact that he does have it, and
yeah,
he is using it to a degree.
Saying, "Listen, Josh, here you go."
Did you happen to see Death Battle, Josh?
This one's for you, buddy.
All right. So real quick. So I think I definitely think Sanji and Jinbei are probably going to switch places because I think who's thing is going to be about like finding the right person to attack, and if you beat one of them, you beat all of them, or something like that. So I think Sanji's observation haki is going to come in handy there when it comes to him, because I feel like there's
evolve into like a like instead of it being like a solely one-on-one situation, like they may pair up or like team up in some type of way or help each other switch.
Like Jinbei might break the ground and fall into Sanji's battle or something. I don't know. I think because I don't see Sanji beating Black Maria because he can't hit women. So there would have to be
maybe there's going to be some character development there that he turns into an abusive. You know what I'm saying? An
knows?
abusive guy takes out all his past trauma on her, and for better or worse, that may happen. That's an option.
He starts punching after
And
this
kick her
arc.
right in the head. Yeah, right. He uses his fist too. Like that's what these fists is for cooking and beating your ass.
Who knows?
Cooking and beating women.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it, but thanks for taking out with me, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that a switch is more likely too, but who knows? Jesus,
I have no idea what's gonna happen. It's looking exciting.
Yeah,
Are they taking a break next week? I didn't.
No,
I didn't
we got it.
Check.
Next week will be the last One Piece chapter of the year, which leaves us with 1,000.
Chapter 99.
With chapter 1,000.
Oh, it's gonna be 999. All right.
Yeah,
So
1,000 is
this
gonna
was
be the first chapter of the new year, which is fitting. I like it.
Yeah, I like that too.
Poetic.
Gives Oda a little opportunity.
Sure,
Maybe
all
he
of that.
puts it in all color. That'll be pretty sick.
Oh, relax there, Chris.
Maybe.
You dreaming real big there, man.
Hey, man, it's not impossible. Who knows?
No, it's not. But the full chapter?
A man can
Damn, that'll be so lit. I'll cross my fingers with you, bro. Together.
cross the fingers
All
together.
right, that's done. Did you do it too, Brian?
No.
You're an asshole, man.
but
You're an asshole, and the Nets is gonna suck. Watch. That's how I feel. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. One Piece came, I guess, dangerously close to being my RGC this week, but I don't know.
Dangerously close.
Yeah, I was
You need
like
to
close.
get out of here, Cat.
But there is another series that like took it for me. Sorry, One Piece. Next week maybe. But is that all we got to say about One Piece? What?
I'm just ready for 999. Bro.
Yeah,
That's
man.
gonna be the chapter.
hyped. This wasn't the VGC for me, though.
Yeah, neither was I. Anyway, let us randomize. Batman.
VGI.
Yeah, honestly, same. This is our very good issue of the week.
Certified VGI.
Wow.
I knew this. When I read this first, I was like, okay, this is like pretty high in contention. If Death Metal or the X books don't take it, then
Yeah.
this is it. But yeah, this is our favorite issue of the week. This is Batman number 105. Last we left off, Batman has been facing off against his shonen rival, the Ghostmaker.
Rival.
Yeah, Raivoru. We learned his backstory in the last one. Apparently, the reason that he's after Bruce and that they have this rivalry is that Ghostmaker is more in it to like he sees it as like an art, the art of crime fighting, and he gets frustrated with Bruce because he's seeing it as a weapon or like as a very childish mission. So they had a falling out where they violently beat each other over a disagreement. And we cut.
Yeah, regular friend stuff.
Yeah, Yeah, I remember the last time I beat my best friend mercilessly through because of a mild disagreement.
Yeah, a minor disagreement.
Yeah, we went to a battle to the death. We opened with Argentina years ago, where Bruce was heading off to go back to Gotham City, and he is met up with by the Ghostmaker, who is basically comes by is just like, "You're not ready, kid. I can't believe you're going back. You're not fucking ready to do this."
Are you still mad?
Yeah.
You still mad about your parents, dog? When you was a little ass boy?
That's literally, yeah, that's actually
Really pressing him about that, man.
Yeah.
Bruce is just like, dog, like, that's just my thing, man. Let it go.
yeah,
Like, hop off my nuts. That's really what the conversation.
yeah. It's kind of
Most.
weird. Yeah, Josh says it that way, but yeah, that's basically what it is. It is like a Batmanified version of, yo, you still can't get over this, and get off my nuts. I don't have a problem with you. I would like for
Yeah,
us to be friends. Ghostmaker's still just like, we're supposed to be doing this for the art.
Oh, he's in his bag, man. He's got his own fucking drama going on, man.
Yeah.
In his head. He's got issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they fought like 3 times about this already.
Yeah.
So,
and it's none of this is initiated by Batman. This is exclusively
right, all
Ghostmaker's
Ghostmaker, like.
So yeah, Batman gets on the plane and Ghostmaker. They make the deal where Ghostmaker won't set foot in Gotham City as long as Bruce does not set foot in any other city that he's currently operating in. So that's the final rift between the two, and we cut back to the current times where the Clown Hunter, aka Bow, is about to. I want to give you time. Damn. Whoa. Are you charging it up?
I'm waiting. I'm just gotta let it ride.
So yeah, Bao is about to behead Harley for murdering his parents, for being there where he murdered his parents. And Batman is desperately trying to convince him, like, stop it, he's just trying to manipulate you. And Clown Hunter's just like, maybe I don't care, and he just fully goes to swing downward. Batman somehow gets a batarang out of his pocket. I'm like, didn't Ghostmaker
miraculously? Yeah.
Why wouldn't Ghostmaker take his batarangs?
Well, he probably keeps them in very
discreet at this point. I don't see where else.
Well, he has his belt. I see it.
I mean, hey, I give it to Bruce's resourcefulness. Don't get me wrong, but sheesh.
You forgot to
I
take
hope he ain't hit nobody in the head with that. Did Harley touch that with her hands? Ooh.
Yeah, he threw it, and he throws his batarang at Harley, and Harley with her bare hands catches this sharp object and cuts herself free in the 2 seconds it would take for Bao to bring down his sword. It's a little bit like, how long? What are you doing?
Like Ike's forward smash. Takes a little while to land.
Yeah, he's like.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a 12-year-old, so it's kind of hard to slice through a human body without, using the most strength.
Yeah,
so
all of the strength.
It passes.
I guess
it checks off.
So yeah, as Harley gets free, Batman also gets free and just give me that little boy. Takes the sword out of his hand, and it gives him a shove. He just grabs another knife because, again, Ghostmaker has left him a cavalcade of weapons to just eviscerate Harley with. So Harley's like, wait, let me speak, and then you could do whatever you want to me. And in so many words, Harley basically says is that I don't remember the night that, we killed your parents, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm trying to make up for it, essentially. I was also, in my own way, kind of a victim. Being manipulated by the Joker and being forced into this weird abusive relationship with him, and I'm trying to make up for that now by being a hero. And if you want to do it, you can do it, but I'm trying to be the best version of me I can. So if you want to kill me, do it. I deserve it. And then I keep mixing them up. Clown Hunter walks up to Harley, takes his little knife, and he goes into the table, and he leaves. So there you go. Bao is now, I guess, in a conflict within himself. But he lets Harley live. Too. Yeah, very sad moment. So Harley, he basically ensures Harley that he's going to do anything in his power to make sure Bao ends up okay. He says, you should go now. And that's when Ghost Hunter is just there, double katana'd up, and they start having another battle where Batman basically says, you know how many times I could have killed Harley? I could have done that easily.
Yeah, times.
Yeah, the Joker is like, what, 112 pounds? I can blast him into nowhere. But I can't do it because nobody learns, nobody changes, and nothing is better in the end. And Ghost Hunter basically says, not everyone can be saved, but most people can. Batman rebuts. And, yeah. It's more of like kind of that back and forth is like you're protective of him because he's just like you. That's why you want to save Bao. And
Bao.
Batman's like, sure, but also I don't want to murder a boy. I think that's pretty reasonable. And he says that caring about people hasn't killed him yet. Ghost Hunter says You've come closer than most. And he says, and you haven't? And they do a shonen. And finally,
you haven't taken a few L's, bro. Like, come on.
why you camping?
You ain't got powers either, nigga. You know what time it is.
Yeah, we're just both men.
Yeah.
And
Ghost make it look, yeah, right. He's just like,
you know what?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, Batman lays down his weapon, and Ghost Hunter does a cool thing. He can't just put his sword away. He flips it up in the air, lets it fall into the sheath on his back.
On its own.
And basically, he's like, all right, I'll leave Gotham, I guess. I'll leave it to you, and I won't come back again. I'll be watching on the Ghost net. And Batman's like, you don't have to. I'm not rich anymore, so I'm going to need...
TBH.
I'm building a car from scraps. You know,
and he's like, "Oh, a helicopter." And he's like, "Nah, a car." And he's like, "Oh, a tank." And he's like,
"No,
nah, a car." It's like the regular one.
I'm outfitting an Toyota Camry right now for crime fighting sake. And basically, he says, "You can stay and you can help." And I'm not. He's like, "I'm not."
Plus, I kind of need the bread.
Yeah, I have no money, so I need as many friends as I can because this city is
taking a job at Starbucks next week
and all that. It's looking kind of slow for your boy. Will you help me, Ghost?
I'm taking up a manager's position at the Wawa, and I'm gonna need you. So Batman is he suits up and he invites him to stay, and he's basically, I'm not gonna stop telling you that you're wrong. And he's like, that's okay. I could use the challenge. He does the nose.
Because it's my ninja way.
And I won't stop until I'm the Hokage of Gotham. And then Ghostmaker looks at him. He's like, no, I'm gonna be the Hokage of Gotham. And they both go off to fight crime, and whoever solves the crime first is gonna win. God damn it! I love this issue, man. It was so good.
Man. It's like it was cheap, but I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, I loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah,
like some positivity.
Weirdly enough, this is probably the best arc of Batman since James Tynion took over for me. I really did enjoy it quite a bit.
He's been doing Batman well, man. You know,
he has, and this is a good run.
Tom King, of course, crushed it, but he's been doing his thing.
Yeah, it was a good run already, but this was like a really fun arc. Maybe it's just like playing. He read Black Clover, and he's like, I could do that. He read Naruto, and he was like, "Yo,
sure, man. Why not? Man, he's broke now."
You think he's gonna be You think there's gonna be a Ghostmaker retrieval arc? Oh, that would be so fire.
Son. I'll write fan mail for that.
Dude, same. I will try to will that into
the bow
existence.
retrieval arc.
Bow.
Oh, the bow retrieval arc.
Bow.
There you
bow.
go. Are you out of strength? Do you not have any more in the tank?
All right. Bow. All right.
Bow. All right. That was Batman. Very fun. Strangely enough, it's really coming into its own this run. Hopefully the next arc is going to be cool. I learned recently that James Tynion is also writing a Joker series. I don't know how I feel about it, but it is James Tynion, and I guess we'll have to see when it comes out. It's coming out in March, I believe, after this whole Future State stuff comes out. I don't know if there will be a Batman issue.
So is DC taking a break and then just doing this Future State?
Okay, so
thing?
from
Is
what
this going to be part of some type of canon? What's going on?
Yeah, from what I understand, the Future State is like what they already made for 5G. And they're not exactly going to abandon it because they put a lot of time and effort into writing and drawing it. So they're putting it under Future State, this month-long event, so to speak, where they just like put out all the books that they were planning on putting out, but they canceled since DiDio and I guess Scott Snyder are not going to be like head honchos of the entire universe anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I just learned I also learned today that Bendis is getting a Justice League title.
Bendis?
Man,
you know what? I'd like him better for Justice League than Superman.
I mean, I saw the roster he has, and Josh, both Black Canary and Green Arrow are on there. None of the Flash is not on there. Neither is any Green Lanterns. John's is not on there either, I think. Yeah.
I melted.
Shazam is there though. Naomi's on the team, and she looks like an adult now. And I'm like, whatever happens to
that ass Naomi?
Yeah, and I'm like, but
That's
what?
Kind of cool.
I would love to see a Naomi
Wait, is this
too.
the future one you're talking about? The future Justice League?
I think this is supposed to be the new roster after her because, yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Bendis has been weird in my opinion at DC.
He has been weird.
It's been kind of hit or miss. I think Naomi's the best thing he's done since he got here, but
the speech bubbles are kind of annoying though.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's gonna be so much banter. Now that he's Green Arrow, I promise you, Green Arrow is gonna be the banter guy.
What the fuck else is he gonna do? I think you're right.
Save the world with
Hey,
his
girlfriend's
arrows.
more official than you. You know what? Actually, there's nothing wrong with that, lady.
I don't know. Maybe in the
y'all are number one as well.
Maybe in the time of Future State. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I feel like covering that. Let us know if you do want us to cover it. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com or comment below. Let us know if you want us to talk about Future State. I'm not particularly interested. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe in that month we can react to what's happening after, because there's little bits and pieces of what's going to happen after Future State and the new creative teams. So we can maybe do a takeoff on that. But in any case, that was Batman. It is time to randomize.
The champ is here.
Chainsaw Man.
Ooh.
This is Chainsaw Man chapter 97.
Final chapter.
Love.
VGC.
Yeah.
Certified RGC certified.
RGC, goddamn.
Certified RGC.
I have an explanation. We're gonna save it for the end of the chapter.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad choice at all. We open with a color page of food and Denji eating it.
Yeah.
We open
Makima Deluxe.
Yeah. We open up the next it's probably like the next day or so. Denji has all of Makima's dogs. He's taking them all on the walk at the same time. There's this little girl who says, "Doggies." She'll be important in a few. So Denji says that he ate it all. Makima did not revive from his stomach or from the crapper either. I guess he expected her to just like rise from his toilet.
Yeah,
right. And basically he's like, attacks don't work against Makima. How are you able to kill someone untouchable? And, you know, he said, hey man, I mean, I didn't come out here to hurt Miss Makima at all. I just wanted to be one with her. That's not an attack. That is love. Love. And
I'm like, nice, he could spell.
cool.
That's good. The
Considering,
future is bright for Denji.
yeah, considering he probably doesn't have an education of any sort.
None.
It's pretty good.
Zero.
I just hope he
Not
doesn't
in
eat
any
everybody
kind
he
of form.
loves, you know?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he doesn't eat these dogs. That'd be cool if he didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, this old man is like, how are you able to get the drop on Makima, given what she's capable of? She could hear anything. Why didn't she hear you talking? Why can't she only hear me talking? Why is she picking on me?
Like, yeah, I didn't even think about it like that, man. Like, he really was like, how did she not know? Like, because she's always
Listening.
listening.
This is crazy. Apparently, Makima, the reason he realized this is that based on a hunch of all the conversation they'd have and the intel on enemies, Makima can only perceive people by scent. So she doesn't actually remember individual faces. She only remembers the sense of the people that she has an interest in. So he kind of made a gamble, and he made a gamble that the whole time she's been focusing on Chainsaw Man, but not Denji himself. And that's how he was able to slip under her radar. So, and that's when he realizes that, like, she never really saw me from the start, which is semi-sad.
Pretty deep.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then that's when this little girl just walks up to him, and as he's like, "Beat it, little girl, get on out of here," she bites him, and at that point, Denji's like, "Wait a minute, I know this bite, Makima." Makima.
How does he know that bite?
I don't know.
Maybe she like bit him before in the series. I don't know.
Trying to remember that.
Yeah. Okay. So this apparently this girl is not Makima necessarily, but the control devil that reincarnated into this child, because devils.
Scary shit.
Yeah, because devils don't really die. So the old man explains that Makima's dead. This new control devil shouldn't have her memories or anything else, and he's leaving her with Denji. So yeah, that's crazy. I think he disappears too. He says, "I'm about to get busy, so I can't really take after her. So leaving her with you would be the best course of action." And he just Batman's out of there. As
He's like, "Fuck this shit."
Goodbye. She won't hear me where I'm going.
Because I'm still scared.
Yeah.
She can hear me. She can hear me from anywhere.
So Denji just looks at her. He's like, "What's your name, little girl?" And this new control devil's name is Nayuta. And yeah, he just kind of takes her in. He's like, "You want to eat it? Is there anything you want to eat?" And she says, "Sliced bread." Harking back to Denji, what Denji just wanted to eat. And he says, "Cool, pretty expensive." And she gives the peace sign. Very cute little moment between them. We cut back to the flashback here where Pochita and Denji are like, well, Denji's very young and he's hugging Pochita. And it's revealed that the Chainsaw Devil, Pochita's dream, was to hug someone, have someone hug him, which is all. And it sounds easy, except I'm too strong, and that was actually really hard. But you made my dream come true. So he basically then asks Denji, "I want you to grant the Control Devil's dream too." And essentially the Control Devil's dream is that she always wanted to be, to form an equal relationship with others. The only relationships that she can ever think to form are based out of fear. So she always longed for something like a family. And the way you do that is to give her lots of hugs. Aww. And we cut to the present where Denji's just hugging her all the time. It's a very sweet little thing. And then we cut over to Chainsaw, to this devil just attacking the city. And we hear like people talking around. He's like, "Chainsaw Man beat another devil? Killing devils is supposedly his hobby. Have you heard? Rumor has it Chainsaw Man is a high schooler now." And the chapter ends, and the series ends, with Denji facing down this devil, pulling on his chainsaw. And that's where the chapter ends. And with that, I guess we say goodbye to Chainsaw Man. It was such a fan. Oh, shit. Brian, don't mess up this drop, please.
Here comes the
This is New Jump
news.
City Action News with Big News Brian.
Hello there, New Jump citizens. It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, I come here bearing great big news regarding Chainsaw Man. It has been announced that Chainsaw Man is getting an anime.
Whoa. Wait, did we already know that?
Oh, man.
Is that the only news? That's great and all, but what else is there?
Oh yeah? You want more?
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
more?
Yeah,
You want more?
Yes.
absolutely.
I didn't drop this for
Part
nothing.
2 of the manga. Part 2. This ain't the end of Chainsaw Man manga. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Yeah. as Brian says, apparently Chainsaw Man is part 2 is not going to be held in Shonen Jump itself. It is moving to Jump Plus, which is Shonen Jump's online magazine. I imagine it'll still be translated and brought over here. But yeah, this is great news. I literally thought this was the end. I don't remember them specifying this part 1 public safety arc.
Never.
I don't
Never.
remember. And I'd like to
couldn't
think in
believe
the
it.
first chapter they probably have it, and they just never referenced it. So I was just like, forgot about it. But maybe. Just maybe. But in any case, more Chainsaw Man's on the way. So excited to hear that. And that's great news to hear. With that being said, we have a little bit of announcement. Although Chainsaw Man is going to continue into the future, we have to fill out its very big shoes in our manga review lineup. So if you go over to our Twitter at New Jump City, we have already initiated a poll to replace for Chainsaw Man's replacement series that we're going to be covering week to week. The poll says it's 7 days because Twitter's poll limitations only let us do a poll for a week, but we're going to run it for 2 weeks. I'm just going to redo the poll and add those votes from the second round into the first. So if there's any series that you guys want to hear about, please let us know by going over and voting, or you can write in what series that you want us to talk about instead. The choices are Mashal, we have Undead Unluck, we have Sakamoto Days, and finally we have Kaiju number 8. So any one of those series could join us and take Chainsaw Man's stead until it returns and beyond. And that's all I gotta say about that. Onto the final chapter itself and overall thoughts on Chainsaw Man up to this point. Man, what a series so far. At least I know this is like technically not the end, but I feel like we got to give it a little bit of a send off, especially since this is the final chapter for now. Man, if you listen to this podcast, we love this series. Sometimes when I read it, I always felt like I'm even reading something that's like continuously over my head, where I'm like, this series is too goddamn smart for me. I don't know. There are so many themes that I feel like I'm not absorbing, but it was so much fun, and I can't wait for it to return. Josh, what are your thoughts?
Very similar to yours, but I will say that it would have been a lot more disappointing if that actually was the end. In all honesty, to me, there's a lot of things I feel like it's not that I'm upset the way the story would have ended. It's that I feel like it would have been very premature. There's so much more, like so much more potential.
Yeah.
From what we've seen, that can be taken. At the end of the day, I've learned not to put too many expectations on Chainsaw Man in the first place, because that's part of why I like it, is because of how sporadic it is, and unpredictable. So I'm just happy it's still going. Yeah, that's all I can say, man. It's hard. It's hard to say anything more final about it. I loved it. Mm-hmm. They did it. They stood true to what it was to the very end. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to see more.
Chainsaw Man was a series that I didn't expect that I would like. That's tends to be like a trend with me nowadays, where it's like, something is I just not into something right away. I'm like, oh, first glance, I'm like, this is probably not my type of series. Then I started reading it more, and I was like, wait, this is actually really fucking good. Like, Chainsaw Man it was a very pleasant surprise, and I'm just glad that it's not done, so I can get more Chainsaw Man.
For sure. And incidentally enough, we started covering this because we got, last time we did this to replace Promised Neverland, Chainsaw Man was up for it to replace it, and it won our poll. And I want to thank you guys for voting for it and for letting us know and for recommending us a pretty splendid manga. Very fun times. But without further ado, we ready to move on, boys?
Hell yeah.
It is time to randomize.
Oh shit!
Death Metal. This is Dark Knight's Death Metal number 6. The penultimate chapter. We're almost done with Death Metal, you guys. Last we left off, there was an issue last week where it was kind of like an intermediate issue where everybody was pretty much spending their final night before the epic battle against the Batman Who Laughs and his evil alternate reality Batman. And now we're picking up with that battle. The entirety of the DC universe has gathered to fight against this horde of evil Batmen, villain and hero to be exact. And not only that, Batman like brings up the corpse of the Batman Who Laughs that Wonder Woman seemed to have killed and put it under his control using the Black Lantern ring.
Yeah, they need all the help they could get. It wasn't as hype as I think they thought it would be, at least for me.
Yeah,
but it was cool.
They didn't make it that big a deal. I thought it was like a little cool, like, damn. I forgot. I didn't even know.
Nigga, we bringing out everything.
Everything. Even if you are just a normal crazy person. Well, we then cut to the passage to the Forge of World. It's just this completely blank space. It's Wonder Woman and the main men, her army of Lobos, traveling through this darkness to reach the Forge of Worlds so that Wonder Woman could create this machine that could bring everybody's memories of all of the DC Universe's history to them, which will somehow make them stronger in the battle. I don't know. In any case, that's the whole plan of it. And they're in this weird world of dark matter, which is essentially fear incarnate. It's this physical manifestation of fear, and they're kind of curious as to why it's just a blank space and nothing else. But turns out it's not exactly just a blank space. It is basically entirely the Batman Who Laughs, for he is the final terror left in existence. So he's just snatching them up and killing all these Lobos. Meanwhile, at the same time, he's fighting Perpetua right now.
Yeah.
And Perpetua is like trying to like say, chill. I don't want to fight no more. How about we make a deal?
You got it. Let's make a deal.
Yeah, and Batman Who Laughs is like, okay, how about this? I'll kill you and I'll take the last of your power. Sound good? And she's not happy with that. And basically
she tries to plead with him and tell him like, yo, the even bigger guys than us is gonna pull up and shut this whole shit down. Like if you keep doing the most. And he's like,
yeah, that's the plan.
I don't care.
That's the plan.
The fuck? That's exactly what I want to happen. I'm gonna go see what these things is about. Whatever happens, happens. See,
yeah.
that's what you don't understand, Perpetua.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been about that life.
Basically,
you just pussyfoot around this shit.
Yeah. It's interesting. The powers that be that Perpetua is talking about are known as the hands. It's just Master Hand just coming down.
Yeah, you know, the various writers and editors of DC, essentially. I
mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. It is kind of like Smash Brothers. The entire universe is crossing over.
Yeah, Master Hand. That's Master Sakurai's hand.
Yeah. Master Sakurai's hand. So back at the back on Earth, the heroes of our universe are fighting their asses off, and Wonder Woman is trying to save all these Lobos, and Lobo's just like, "What are you doing? Leave, go." And he's like, "I'm not leaving you." And I'm like, "Wonder Woman, didn't you just learn this lesson about hesitation? You gotta."
Right.
And while she's trying to save the Lobos, the Batman Who Laughs just yanks Carter Hall's journal, the journal that has the mechanism, the device, I guess, specifications inside it. He just kind of yanks it out of her pocket, and she gets dropped into the Forge of Worlds, where Darkseid is waiting for her there, with the baby version of the Anti-Monitor just sitting there in his arms. Of I don't know why. Is he about to throw it into the lava? I'm not sure. But he's just chilling there. And it is like, it would have been useless anyway. The machine wouldn't have worked. Ha ha. We have almost won. Meanwhile, the Batman Who Laughs, finally having a leg up on Perpetua, is like, do you remember these fragments, Perpetua? They're little pieces of the source wall. I just picked that shit up and now I'm going to trap you in it. So
Yeah, it's basically Habuki, man, who for all intents and purposes.
basically, and he gives this whole speech about, like Josh said earlier, is she's not about this life, and really, it's about how like these gods are trying to save us, but we don't want to be saved, and every time you try, we laugh at you. Like who? Just you, really? I mean, nobody. I don't think anybody's laughing at Perpetua ever. But in any case, after that happens, the other Batmen start to retreat off of the Earth, and all the Earth heroes are like, "We did it! Yay!" And at that point, that's when the Batman Who Laughs goes, "Nope, no, you didn't. In that time that you were celebrating your little win there, I finished creating all of my Earths, and I brought some of my favorite ones from the original Metal series out here to really destroy you before you go." So,
yeah, plus a few other guys.
Plus this on fire on fire Superman. I got Barbados here. And the heroes know at that point, like, we're fucked.
Yeah,
And,
the buffet of hells.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Batman and Superman have their bro moment where they're like, "It's been an honor being your friend." And he's like, "I know, brother. Same here." And meanwhile, Wonder Woman's in the Forge of Worlds being like, "Shit, I didn't even get a look at the fucking machine. I don't know how to build it." And
yeah, man, she's got like an hour left to finish her research paper that she hasn't started yet. She's stressed.
yeah.
Oh man, what the fuck? I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I should have opened it a little bit before I came here. I should have looked at it.
How didn't Batman do this shit? He's the guy that builds stuff.
Yeah.
I just swing my sword and say nice things to people.
Yeah, that's
What am I
basically.
supposed to do now?
Yeah.
His dark side guys laugh at me, and he's holding his baby.
He's
wild.
disgusting too. He's got horns coming out of his cheeks.
Overwhelming.
So he's basically like, "Come now, Diana. Humankind does not want the truth." And Diana does what she does, says nice things about people. And she's like, "It's only when we fear the truth that evil rises. To know all of history is to know that everything matters. All of our histories matter. Everything matters. And because it is love and it binds us together." And she's like, "Wait, binds." Like what's his face from never mind. I was gonna make a reference. I couldn't remember it.
To My Hero Academia?
No, I was thinking of Jeff Goldblum from Independence Day, where he just like works backwards from something ridiculous, like binds. Eureka! And she just dips her lasso of truth into the forge, and it starts to light up as Batman assembles with everybody. He gives this cool little moment where he's like, "All right, everyone, this is it. We fight as one army, one planet, one universe." And they all repeat one universe. The different families of the DCU, the Batman family, the Aquaman family, the Green Lanterns, and the Superman family. Lois Lane's there, which is like, what? Why? But
Bro, she had her own series, my nigga, in DC. It's got to count for something.
yeah, I don't
All
know.
right, a whole series.
Yeah, I guess she's gonna fight this army with journalism. It's gonna be cool.
She's gonna find out the information.
She's going to
about
cancel
Batman.
them.
And for whatever reason, these like rednecks show up. I don't know who they're supposed to be.
Bro, we ain't cool with them.
Yeah,
We ain't cool with them. I don't know what DC. I don't know what that was about, Scott Snyder.
yeah.
But we not cool with them.
DC's right-wing Republican Party shows up and is like, "I know we've picked the wrong team before, Superman, but we're here to fight with you now. One universe." And Superman's like, "Okay." And at that moment, as everybody's getting ready to square off, these little weird white strands go through everybody's head as Wonder Woman narrates, "One universe. I can feel it. All of our history, all of the stories, everything we've done, good, bad, all of it, becoming one history." And as the Forge is doing its magic, it's working. Wonder Woman's lasso is just like powering up even more. Superman says, "I remember it all, Diana." And it's at that moment that the ground starts to rise up beneath everybody, and out from the magma arises a golden Wonder Woman in her truth form, I guess. And she's about to square up with the Batman Who Laughs,
Hell yeah.
her herself being the machine of truth that is bringing everybody's memories of the entirety of the DCU's history. Yeah, pretty cool. Honestly, I don't mind it. She has the cool chainsaw. I'm here for it. We mentioned we talked a lot earlier about the future state, and we probably should have talked about it here. But yeah, I guess this is what we're building to. It's a more confirmation narratively of what DC is going to be doing from here on out, where everything's going to count from now on. And after death metal, a lot of writers will have a lot more ability to play fast and loose with continuity, and you know, it's gonna be a different universe after this. I'm very curious, but as it pertains to Dark Knight's death metal itself, this was pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, that's like now its next chapter is just nothing but like cool battles drawn by Capullo. That'll be sick. But this new Wonder Woman form's pretty fire. It's interesting how she's kind of like taking the reins as the protagonist of this essentially Batman story, something that started out as a Batman story. So I'm here for it. Josh, any thoughts?
Nah. I want to see how they end the series.
Yeah,
it was entertaining. It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
Been good the past couple events.
Yeah, we had our moments with death metal, but now that we're finally getting to the meat of it, feels like it's coming together a little nicely. With that being said, it is time to randomize.
Oh, good.
Dr. Stone. This is Dr. Stone, chapter 178, Science Scales Mountains. Last we left off, the science...
Alternative title. Bitch, you thought.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Because of the girl.
Because
she really tried to act like this nigga was the boyfriend and shit. And
you're right.
Yeah.
We'll get to that when we get to that.
Thought. Yeah, we'll get there.
Last we left off, the Watchmaker character has finally figured out how to fix the petrification device that they left behind. And they immediately revive him, because that was the plan, I guess, is to... The little stoning of himself is to, test out the machine, see if it works. And, yeah. It says that, like, by tinkering with the mechanism, he managed to squeeze one less dying gasp about it, so it just doesn't work anymore. I think, like, you can only use it for so many tries, I guess. But, he's not giving up. He's going to keep working on it until it, like, works again. And we cut back to the Kingdom of Science team, who make it to the Andes Range. And that's where they kind of stop for a pit stop and, do their whole, try to figure out their plan for the next day or so. We get a bit of an interesting tidbit about how essentially weather works in... It's a bit of a sciencey paragraph thing, but yeah, it's a nice little thing.
Yeah, it was really cool. If anything, I don't know if you want to break it down fully, but
I mean, you can if you want.
The coolest, I was just the takeaway for me is that it's crazy how the oceans can affect weather, like on certain parts of the continent, but then you have large land masses like these mountains, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could kind of set, that create that like a natural barrier, so that it contains whatever's going on in this second continent. Specifically to the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's super believable. It makes total sense why the jungle would still be there and it wouldn't turn into a fucking desert. You know, after however many years.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, they realize that they have to, in order to continue on through the mountains, they're going to have to do a musical chairs of sorts with their bikes and rebalance the weights on each bike. So she immediately asks Luna how much she weighs, and you never do that. You never ask a woman how much.
Yo, what did she say? I'm 96 grams or something like that. Like, she lied for sure.
Yeah, she said that she was 90 pounds. And Even her simps are like, wait a minute, no way.
There's no way, shorty. Like,
Not with those unrealistic proportions. So yeah, basically, from all of this, like Chelsea eventually like figures that Senku is the guy that she's crushing on, and Luna's like, yeah, but not to get ahead of myself, but we're dating, so it's pretty cool.
not to get ahead of myself.
Just your average relationship between two cool and capable adults. And Kohaku's in the back like, yeah, I don't think so, buddy.
There's no way.
And she's like,
doesn't care about any of that.
Dog, basically, she's like, back when we talked about the Perseus, and she's like, and we cut back to when she asked him to be his boyfriend, and he's like, oh, sure, like a political marriage, huh? And he's like, hey, but don't you have those simps around, though? And she's like, yeah, yeah, sure, but, I can bring them to our side if you want.
Yeah, he's down for whatever, as long as that stays.
And Senku's like, cool. I mean, it'd be cool if we could have some people on our side. And she took that as a yes. And everybody around her is like, yeah, I don't think he said yes. I don't think you guys are anything right now. Yeah, Luna is now back to just trying to get Senku's affections as we cut over to Senku, who has completed his scale, and they rebalance the bikes. Everybody has a new pairing in the bikes. Ryusui's with Senku and Chrome, Kohaku's with Taiju and Luna, Tsukasa's with Gen and Chelsea. Zeno is with Max and Carlos. Is he tied up still? I wonder.
Yeah, he better be.
Yeah, I don't really see it. Hyoga's with Ukyo and Kaseki. Francois with Suika and the Boiler. So, they all zoom off, and they reach the end of the road for their bikes. And at that moment, somehow Stanley realizes, okay, now it's time for us to fly. Because I guess they fixed the biplane, and they start heading out to fly and catch up with the Kingdom of Science. And now that they're stuck on the mountains with no more mountain bikes, it is time for Senku to create a ropeway somehow. And man, it's probably going to be like a smaller scale, obviously, version of a ropeway.
Yeah, right. It's not going to be like what they described, but that shit was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And they got to do all of this all before the other team pulls up to them in the airplane. And that's kind of wild.
Yeah, they have a whole plane. Fun chapter of Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone's been a lot of fun these last couple.
Yeah, it's been cool. They had. I really like the explanation of the weather. They kept it simple.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't too extra for my brain.
I agree. A lot of fun as always with Dr. Stone. Honestly, it's a very fun series. But with that being said, it is time to randomize. New Mutants. Yeah, we're on the Xbox now. We have 2 this week, thank God. I thought it was gonna be 3. TG. But we're starting with New Mutants number 14. We're back to normal stories for the X-Men. We start off with this backstory where we learn about this kid who grew up in Egypt in the 16th century, and he was basically a little superhero. He was a mutant. And he was doing his thing, but unfortunately, a plague came to their market. Darkness fell, and he lost his father. But with the plague came bigger predators, and this monster in the dark, who I'm sure is the Shadow King, just draws him over. And this kid eventually grows to know this guy. We then cut over to this little letter that the members of the Academos Habitat sent over to the Quiet Council, where they basically are citing problems with the children who live there, basically saying that there's a lot of mutants that don't really understand their powers and are really having trouble coping with them. So they're asking permission to really be this guiding force for these younger mutants. Which very fitting for New Mutants to be about the younger generation a good way to differentiate the New Mutants series with other books is this is about bringing up the next gen of mutants, closer to what the X-Men originally were, which is a school for mutants to cohabitate with their powers, cohabitate. And Professor X says, "Yeah, go for it. Be the teachers for these kids." We have this little scene with Moonstar and this girl. I think she's a newer character. She's basically explaining that she's having like nightmares, and ever since that she was stuck in Cosmore's nightmares. So she can't really sleep. She's having like real trouble sleeping. And then I guess she's remembering the battle against the Amenth demons. And when she tried to touch the minds of the Iraqi, she can recognize people, but she doesn't know really who they are exactly. But all she can feel is that they had like nothing but hatred towards her. And that's what's causing her to really like start to lose it a little bit, is that she keeps remembering that. And that's when Magic comes in and Warlock, and they start
doing the whole lot.
Yeah, they start doing the banter, and this girl, she just walks away, and we then there's this little moment of banter with one of the other mutants, and we cut over to the younger generation of mutants just playing around in the middle of one of the forests in Krakoa. And I guess doing some combat training, battling against each other. And it's a team of two. They're the Ferals and the Elementals. I guess it seems.
One of these girls is the one they showed in Dawn of X. That I think Storm brought in, this green chick.
Yeah, I think I'm.
I wonder if there's gonna be something interesting to happen with her in the future.
Yeah, who knows?
They're keeping her around. You know what I'm saying? So maybe something important.
For sure.
Let's do.
So yeah, they do this whole battle, and at the end, I guess the Elementals win, and now the new mutants are going to teach them how to basically synergize their abilities together for like combo moves and shit. Some of them are funny. I like, and some of them are cool. Some are Moonstar and Magic's do like this cool mirage projection. Magic and Wolfsbane just create portals where they send wolves in and out. It's this Magic and Wolfsbane synergy is this Warpath and Warlock synergy is that Warlock becomes this fucking big dope suit, and Warlock just makes it Warpath makes it stronger with his powers. I'm like, that's super useful.
Hell yeah. Warlock's the shit, man.
My favorite thing is I also like that Magic and Wolfbane's synergy is 5 wolves come out.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the kids are like, "Yo, that was sick! Double powers!" And at some point, one of the mutants asks them, "Is like, what happens when these synergies make something more dangerous?" And basically, they're like, then how? And everybody's like, we have protocols for this. That's why Resurrection is here, is for us to fully explore who we are and experiment with our abilities without being afraid of dying necessarily. And at that point, this girl asks us, and how come Evan hasn't been resurrected, or Madeline Pryor? Like, what's going on?
I don't know who Evan is.
I don't know who Evan.
But
how come
I know
Evan
this girl is actually a clone of Wolverine at X-23.
Oh, is she? Oh, yeah. She's one of the... Yeah, I know what you mean. I think Evan is one of the 5, actually. So that was my mistake. I misquoted them when I said...
One of the 5?
Yeah, the 5 that resurrect people, right?
He died?
No, she's asking why hasn't he resurrected... Oh,
no, then
Evan,
how come... Evan hasn't... Okay.
I'm fucked up now. She's basically saying, how come Evan hasn't been resurrected?
Yeah.
Or Madeline Pryor. And she's like, I heard that Havoc said they did not bring her back because she's a clone. Why does that matter? And Magic's like, it shouldn't, but the Goblin Queen was like a fucking bad person. But she then rebuts with like, Mr. Sinister's on the council.
Yeah.
And but it's different because like Madeline was actively harmful, whereas Mr. Sinister, to everyone's knowledge, is chiller now. So don't question it anymore. And Evan can still be resurrected. I don't think they're holding back. There is a queue for resurrections, as the X-Force is in charge of handling that. But in any case, the kids separate, and they all start, wandering around Krakoa, and they come across this big, scary cave thing. And kids, they go check it out, and they're like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And inside the cave is the Shadow King, and he's basically there to be like, I have so much to tell you. And yeah, I guess the Shadow King is the villain for this arc. I don't know who the Shadow King is, really. He seems...
Yeah, I don't know too much about him either. But by the next time New Mutants rolls around, I'm gonna do a little bit of research.
Me too. But for now, Brian,
yeah,
please tell us what you can. Just a brief sum.
User.
Who this man is. But so far, New Mutants, not a bad issue. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I like that, as I said.
Oh, he was the villain of Legion, the show.
Oh, well, I didn't.
Yeah,
finish.
remember him?
I didn't watch Legion.
You didn't watch it?
I watched.
I thought
one
you watched
episode.
it. So basically, he's like some parasite that infects mutants. Something like that. Like, he's really, really strong.
Damn. I wonder how he got.
I think he rivals. Well, at least from what I know from Legion, he rivals Professor Xavier's son. So,
and he's pretty powerful. So
yeah.
Is he a mutant? He's not a mutant. He's a parasite of some sort. Like,
no, he's a mutant, I think. Hold on, let me see. And okay, so let's see. I don't think he's a mutant. He's like he exists in different bodies and shapes and forms and shit. So
this time
technically he's a mutant, but technically he isn't.
Well, so we're about to learn in the coming weeks. But yeah,
that's interesting.
New Mutants, it's pretty fun. Rod Reis's art is fun. Like it's different. It's like this little paint kind of thing. I appreciate. Good book, recommended. It is time to move on to X-Force number 15. I almost forgot where we left off with X-Force. It feels like it's been so long. But last we left off, there's the X-Force suspect that there is a traitor amongst the mutants of Krakoa that have ties to the Russian vampire bad guys that we've seen in Avengers, actually. So
the Russians and the vampires.
Both. So Beast has decided to go full grimy and suspect Colossus as being one of them, along with Omega Red. So he calls them over for an interrogation. And that's where we're opening up with, where Wolverine is keeping Beast out of the fucking interrogation because that was Jean's one condition on being back to do shit for them, is that Beast would not be involved because he has been wilding out. Jean is doing the cool psychic thing to Colossus, going through all of his memories, and at the end of the day, he comes out clean. And Jean is like, he's not going to ask you for an apology, but you should definitely apologize for suspecting one of the nicest guys on our fucking island. And yeah, he fucks off. In his cool little like green land place where he chills with his girl, these mutants are playing, and one of them almost falls, but Colossus catches him. And at this time, I think Jean is commenting on how Krakoa is constantly changing. There are these tremors and big quakes in the ground, and the island transforms every time. So X-Force needs to transform too. So Jean basically explains that Colossus is not going to be Colossus doesn't want to fight anymore, but he still wants to help in any other way he can. So let's bring him aboard. And they're like, all right. And
sounds good.
Now we get to understand what Omega Red's part in all of this is. And it turns out he's guilty, and he is the guilty party that has been selling out the mutants. But the information about the Vampire Nation they can't really find, but they do know that he has been mesmerized, so he is necessarily under the control of the Vampire Nation against his will. And she can't get information because the fog of the mesmerization is preventing her from getting through to that. So, there's nothing they can do. And Beast is like, I guess we have to let him go. And Wolverine's like, we can't let him go. There's fucking vampires out there.
They put me in a fucking lake.
Yeah, they put me in a lake in Canada. It sucked. And Beast is like, let me finish, you barbarian. And essentially they're going to, I guess, bug his carbonadium synthesizer. Oh no, it's a detonator. They're going to put a fucking bomb in this thing that would keep him from wanting blood, I think. And they're going to...
No, they already put a bomb in it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
The Dracula's forces, yeah.
Oh, no, did they? I thought he said that they're gonna... Oh, no, they found it in him. Yeah, it was a bomb. They were gonna send him in to bomb Krakoa, I guess. And he's like, what if, they would give him the carbonadium in exchange for what they wanted, intelligence and Krakoa, blood. It only makes sense that we play the same game. So, yeah, basically they're gonna send him back to the Vampire Nation as a double agent on their side. But he can't really know he's working on them. He's working for them. They're gonna try to best they can fog his memory so he doesn't know that he's actually doing their bidding. So at that point, Beast goes over to the forge, the armory where Forge works, and he's apparently working on an undersea suit, so that they can reach the deeps of Krakoa. Which is interesting and very well timed, as we see at the end of this issue.
Yeah.
So basically, Beast goes up to him and is like, I would like you to build me a replacement for this carbonadium synthesizer. And Forge is like, is this Omega Red's? And he's like, yeah, could you make some improvements on the design? And he's like, an audio surveillance homing beacon? And he's like, yep. And Forge is like, should I know this? Should I know something about this? And Beast is like, no. And we cut over to the next panel where Omega Red just has a hole in his chest. They seem to have blasted him to Kingdom Come. And Beast says he's got everything under control. And then we understand what the plan is. Apparently Beast has killed Omega Red. It's what's assumed. And with the intent...
Oh yeah, for sure.
With the intent to resurrect him and be outfitted with a carbonadium synthesizer constructed by Forge so that they can send him back without his memories of his death or, those memories around or the memories surrounding his rebirth. So, yeah, he basically says, I want to resurrect him with a bug inside of him so we can spy on people. The Five object to this, where they're like, I don't know. This seems...
Yeah, doesn't he deserve an equal chance at life? Like everybody else?
Isn't there another way? Can't we just resurrect him with his, the need to not... With the, has an alternate and more humane resurrection been considered whereby Omega Red is no longer reliant on the carbonadium synthesizer? And Xavier himself says, nah.
But no. X-Force is doing what they need to do.
Yeah. Leave my mutant CIA
Kind of
alone.
wild.
And, I guess it's assumed it goes through as we cut over to somewhere in the Pacific where this ship is approaching an air and sea exclusion zone, which is Krakoa, essentially. So they're not allowed to go there. And they're tight. because they're like, how the fuck are we supposed to keep track of this island if it always moves? And yeah, so essentially, as they're freaking out about that, they get interrupted by this weird whale thing, just capsizing them from below, killing everybody on the ship. And we cut back to the Savage Land, where Peter lives with his girl, and she's immediately like, he doesn't want to see you. And Beast is like, I came to say I'm sorry. Sorry. Well, I'm sorry. And he hands this gift over to them. Is like, I gave him some crack-cone paints. I made some paints for him. And this girl who can control water just starts ripping the water out of the Beast's body. And Colossus himself comes out and is like, chill, Kayla. I understand why he did what he did. He made the wrong decision.
Don't kill Puny, man.
Yeah, he said he made the wrong decision for the right reason. And they return the water to him. And he gives him the gift. And Colossus is like, cool, I forgive you. Goodbye now. And Beast is like, wait, there's one more thing. And the issue ends on the shore of Krakoa, where Domino is playing with Black Tom and this dog. It's a nice little scene. Apparently, Krakoa can taste when the dog shits on the island, and it's okay because it's fertilizer, so that Black Tom doesn't really mind. So they're hype about that. And then at that moment, Black Tom senses something coming. And as the tide recedes, we see all of the dead bodies from the ship earlier. And Black Tom's like, holy shit, I thought this was driftwood. And one of them survived. The dog is missing. And I'm like, oh, God, no, please, not the dog. And yeah, one of these guys wakes up and it goes, it came from below. And this weird, gross thing comes out of his mouth and catches Black Tom. The fucking collar of Rufus just washes up on shore.
Yes. I hope the doggy is okay.
It's
Probably
dead.
not, though.
Rip Rufus. But anyway, this is a weird little thing it ends on where like Black Tom is like, "Peace, Sage, is anybody listening?" And Domino just says, "Surf's up." I'm like, what? And that's where the issue ends. That was a fun one, honestly. Up till that one little bubble, I was just like, okay. I mean, you're about to die, but that's
Surf's
up. Surf's
Surf's
up.
up. I guess they don't think it's a big deal because of resurrection, but you're right. That was horribly inappropriate.
I mean, pretty fun overall. Next issue is going to have X-Force using the conveniently designed sea suits that Forge built for them, I imagine. So, yeah, X-Force is fun. Good to have it back. And good to see Beast acting like a fucking dickhead again. But in any case, you got anything to say before we go, Jish?
Nope.
All right. In that case, it is time to randomize.
I hope he turns his sword into some guns.
My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah, baby.
Chapter 294, Final Performance. Last we left off, Gigantomachia was knocked out by the sedative that the other team in the storming the villain hideout procured.
Hell yeah.
And he is down for the count as Best Genius gives a little speech. Just like the fact that the sedative attack took place here now is no coincidence. We did this all together, and if any of us wasn't there, all would have had been lost. And I do believe that. It was a cool little moment. As Lemillion is out trying to fight Nomus, and he's like, "Fuck, these are the real deal. I definitely don't want to take a hit from these." Ida tells Bakugo to chill because if he takes one hit from these fucking guys, he's donezo. And meanwhile, Nejire is still fighting, which is cool. Respect.
Yeah.
And at this point, Best Genius is like, well, with Gigantomachia down, I can at least focus on all of my power on the League of Villains. And that's when we cut directly over to Mr. Compress. And man,
That shot is so cool, by the way.
Compress is like thinking to himself, shit, this was a really good tie-up job. I can't really touch the cable. I can't touch myself. I can't activate my quirk without physical touch. All I can do is tickle my own behind. And basically, at that point, fucking Best Genius just starts to choke out the League of Villains violently. He's trying to end.
I'm guessing he's just doing that to knock him out.
No, dude. Look at Spinner.
No, he is.
Look at Spinner. His eyes are bulging out. I think he's desperately trying to murder
He's
them.
not. No, Best Genius isn't going to kill him.
Blackout bind. Yeah, he's making them black out. And
Dog.
Knock out.
That's very aggressive.
He's not trying to kill them. He's just knocking them out.
Spinner just looks real gnarly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
for
Spinner's
sure.
just making a weird ass face.
Maybe he's not used to binding up lizards.
Yeah, I guess. And at that point, desperation hits in. He's like, man, I didn't even get to accomplish my dreams. And then he turns over to Spinner, and with the amount of words that he can muster, he says, Spinner, I love the League. Tomura is the key. Every decent performance requires a good assistant. He basically says, I'll buy you 5 seconds for which to rouse the boss. And then he pats his left butt cheek, I guess, and compresses that entire area of his body.
Oh my gosh.
Yeesh.
Oh shit!
It gets one of those. And with him gouging out his own flesh, it allows him to break free and compress both Shigaraki and Spinner. So with with his last dying moments, he just escapes. He jumps all the way up. He saves Skeptic. And he's just like coughing up blood as we start to get his backstory. So we start with this. We start to learn about this guy named Oji Harima, the peerless thief. And right when quirks started to develop and the hero system started to take shape, he was out there targeting the phantom pockets of shamed heroes and basically Robin Hooding them, spreading their riches upon the public into the streets. That's interesting. And, you know, his family lineage has just basically been that. It's just all about explaining.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, basically Robin Hooding heroes and bringing true justice and exposing injustice that righteous blood runs in our veins. It's pretty wild. And that moment, that's when Dabi takes out Todoroki, it seems. He goes down. It's very
jet burn.
Yeah, it's very vicious. And Dabi also gets compressed by Mr. Compress. And at that moment, he's thinking, Harima, that reformation you could not achieve, I now hand off to my boss. And he reveals that he is Harima's great-great-grandson. The Bandit King's blood flows through me. And at that moment, as he's entrusting his dreams into Shigaraki, we finally get a look at Mr. Compress's face as he decides to raise the curtain on his final escape artist performance. And he lets Shigaraki and Spinner go on top of Gigantomachia. And I guess we're going to get the final act of Mr. Compress in the next chapter or so. Something that will wake up, I guess, Machia and allow them to escape. Jeez Louise. I'll say this right now. This was my certified really good chapter of the week.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
It was a tight race between three.
Yeah, honestly.
Between three of them.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Compress has always been one of my favorite of the League of Villains.
Yeah.
And I did like, as much as we railed about how fast My Hero Academia was going, I did like this kind of like brief summation over his backstory and all that. We didn't, Mr. Compress is not a character that we needed like a big drawn out thing for.
He wasn't a character I needed to see die either, but
yeah, it is a shame.
We'll see what happens.
It is so sad that we're losing him, especially since he's got one of the more creative powers in the series that I really enjoy. But at the same time, it brings a lot of intrigue as to what's next, man, because we lost twice, and now we're about to lose Mr. Compress. These are big hitters, big antagonists going down. And I guess like if it helps to raise the stakes of what's actually happening here, as big people are going down.
If only there was a prison break that would happen that would allow them to recruit people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do because what's the point of getting one for all now? Oh, all for one. I mean, because Shigaraki's getting his power mostly. So after a certain point, all for one will be kind of useless. He won't have his power anymore. But
at the same time, you got All Might going to the prison itself, so there has to be something that's going to happen.
Did he say he's going to the prison?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember that.
He had to meet with Stain, remember?
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I'm like, it's falling out of my memory. But wow, what a chapter! Mr. Compress will be missed. Honestly, it's a shame that he had to go down.
Yeah, but that was a good chapter.
Any more thoughts, boys?
Brian, this is your RGC, right?
Nah, this is like it's a pretty straight. Well, I don't really have an RGC this week.
Damn,
I think,
Brian.
but I really like this chapter. You know, like Mr. Compress got his things going. It was pretty cool. I like that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how they started off the chapter showing how much everything
his right ass cheek and saved the world. Saved his villain friends.
Yeah.
In the first couple pages, they like show how much the heroes are losing, and then it follows up with how much the villains are losing. I think this is interesting.
Faux show. Yeah,
I really like the way they've been telling stories through like paneling and not just words in this arc so far too.
Yeah, it's a good send off, and Oji Harima's character seems very interesting. Good old backstory. I liked it a lot. Anything else before we get? Then let's go. It is time to randomize. Black Clover. This is Black Clover, chapter 275. I'm pulling up right now. Sorry, guys.
Hellfire Incarnate.
Hell yeah. Last we left off, the Magic Knights all stormed up against are storming up against the Spade Kingdom. The plan is to raid these to defeat all of the 3 Triad members so that they can make the ritual not operate. So, pretty simple, honestly. Find them, destroy them. And these characters all have broken up into separate teams in order to accomplish this. And yeah, that's going on. Meanwhile, back where Maria Leona arrived outside of the village, the Spade Kingdom village, where this big mystical demon was attacking them, her big ass attack didn't work. The demon is unfazed. He's just standing there like, what now? And Maria
shrugged that off.
Yeah, Maria Leona is just smiling because back then she learned that there were things that her magic wouldn't work on. And we cut to a flashback where Noct is in some crazy volcano place as Maria Leona steps out of the lava that she was bathing in. Jeez Louise.
That bitch from Tokyo.
Yeah.
And she basically tells like, what do you want? And Noct is like, please put clothes on. I am a gentleman. And he explains basically what went down is that Yami and Van just got kidnapped. But she's like, I could give a shit that they got kidnapped, but I am interested in who kidnapped them. So basically he said, I'll find you the ideal opponent. And yeah, basically. And she's hyped because he came through and he found her the ultimate opponent, which is this big doofy demon man. And with that, she decides to put her power to the full test and use flame magic, Hellfire Incarnate, where she basically just becomes fire.
Magma.
And yeah, this demon tries
to.
So
she's Ace.
Yeah, Human Torch.
Human Torch.
Ace.
Type shit.
Yeah, she is fire. She ate the Logia. She ate the flame fruit. And with that, she starts to just like easy mode beat this fucking demon up, knocks him out, and she finishes him off with the Caladios Brachium Purgatory Abyss, burns him alive while yelling, just go back to sleep this time forever, burns him alive. And meanwhile, the chapter ends 2-page spread as the Clover Kingdom Magic Knights all pull up on the Dark Triad one after another. It seems that Rill and Charlotte are going up against the Vanica girl. I'm glad I pulled out that name out of nowhere. Vanica, Yuno, and what's this kid's name? The fucking teleport,
And
the
the spatial guy.
Yeah, the spatial kid.
Oh, this guy's big brother.
Leo?
No, not Leo.
No.
That's Leo. Leopold is the fire kid. Damn. Whatever. They pull up against Zeno and Jack the Ripper, and I don't know who this is in the distance, but whatever. One of the Magic Knights pull up on Dante. Hopefully we'll get to see some Jack the Ripper fights. He's obviously like another Kenpachi-esque character that I'm down to see.
Yeah.
So
He just wants to go berserk.
I got a soft spot in my heart for that. This week's Black Clover is the audience-decided RGC again.
Certified.
This was my number 2, man. If it wasn't for Chainsaw Man, I'll let it finish.
This was
If it wasn't for them announcing the fact that it's going to continue, that shit made me so happy.
Yeah.
So I felt like nothing could beat that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Real Trigger could have came out this weekend. It wouldn't have mattered, man. No, just because. Like, how happy is that? You think a series is gonna end? It's like, oh, it's just part 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue. This was a great chapter, honestly. I had a good time. Mary Leona is always a lot of fun.
Oh, she put the beats on that big doofy motherfucker.
I will say though, this was a highly contested one, as opposed to others. I do believe that My Hero Academia came in at a close second. Very close. Oh, no, wait. Maybe it was Chainsaw Man came in close second. My Hero Academia came in third, and One Piece came in last. So, yeah, if you guys want to take part in that, let your voices be known. Follow us on Twitter at New Jump City. And cast your vote. We do the poll every week. The poll goes up on Sunday after I read the chapters. I know what's out. And I just put it up very shortly after that. The poll goes on until the day of the day we record the show, which is usually Thursday nights. And yeah, fun chapter as always with Black Clover. Hopefully we're getting more lit fighting from here on out.
Oh yeah.
But with that being said, that was Black Clover, and that has been our Thank you guys so much for listening. This is the first short one we've had in a while. This is I'm glad to deliver a quick nice one. Let's land this show in a nice way. You could find me at the Chris Espinal, Joshua Cole at JD Cole _37, Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Brian's stream at its twitch.tv/its punchline. All of these links are in your description on YouTube and also on iTunes and Spotify, which you could follow us on, subscribe to us, give us a 5-star review. I think we're in the top 57 still in manga animation podcast, and we'd like to
Thank you guys.
We'd like to advance further, so please, if you love the show, let us know. Just drop a 5-star review. We love you guys very much. Like, subscribe, share the show with your friends. It's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be fun next week. We have Christmas or holiday episode, whatever you choose. I don't really have an allegiance, but we'll have our monthlies next week as well as a full house of manga. So I'm so excited for next week. And but with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening, and stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace.